Why is materialism important? Materialism is something that people criticize a lot. Um, and, one of the main criticisms is that it's putting things, objects, before people, subjects. Um, and while I can understand that point of view, it's not it's not a point of view I share for a number of reasons. The first of which is that materialism, as a goal, so to speak, is a goal for something we all share, right? So if you think of, a father, the ideal father, do you want the father to be a materialist or an immaterialist? I think common sense would say materialist. Why? Because what is the father's primary role in the family structure? It's protector and provider. Well, protection and provision, they go hand in hand, because because protection has to have a value that it's guarding, right? It has to perceive a value behind it so it can stand out front waving the club of fire, right? Waving that torch at the menacing lion. It needs something of value behind it in the place called home. Provision is the accumulation of value, right? Every dollar that you have is a dollar that somebody else doesn't have. And this is true with anything, right? You know, except things that can be duplicated. Like, this is why I refer to the internet as, a metaphysical sphere, because you can duplicate pages. You even, um, you right click on a tab, and you can, in Google Chrome, and you can see the duplicate, option there available, and you can click duplicate, and it duplicates the page, and now you've got a copy. With physical things, in other words, with material things, you can't really do that. So let's say, you had um, a box of um, a box of bottles of uh, a disinfectant. Okay, so let's say you have that. That's a physical thing. A box of, full of bottles of disinfectant. Let's say there are 12 bottles of disinfectant. Now, those are 12 bottles of disinfectant that somebody else doesn't have, that other people don't have. So the reason why materialism is not such a bad thing, given a certain circumstance, right? Given a, well, not circumstance, that's not the right thing to say, but given a certain, point in a family structure, so this is not like if you did away with the whole construct of a family, then you would have, just individuals roaming about, and given the nature of reality, everybody would have to be somewhat materialistic in order to just accommodate other people, because you want something to make life worth living. because you can't have complete absence of physics whilst in physics. That's not a thing. But anyway, what I was saying about the point in the structure of the, in like a family or a community, why why is it important that materialism is valued from the a point, and the point would be the you know the father figure, the pinnacle of the hierarchical system. Why is it important for that point, that link in the chain, so to speak? Why is it important for that point to be materialistically incentivized? Because that's the protector and that's the provider. You know, talking about the father, the ideal father, you want them to be a materialist. You don't want them to be an immaterialist. And it's not because immaterialists are bad, certainly not. But it's because as a father, it is the ideal for them to be a materialist, because it is the ideal for them to be, one, a protector, and two, a provider. And they can't protect unless they provide, and they can't really provide in a objective manner unless they're accumulating physical things, physical potential. And it's, material wealth. It's important for that point in, the family structure, in the community structure, in the nation structure, to be materialistic. You don't get your yin without your yang. And, it's important that, we don't all, hate on materialism from an irrational point of view, that is, just fulfilling your confirmation bias that you don't have anything, comparable to, XYZ, whoever it is that you view as materialistic. There are a lot of people, in this world who are incredibly objectively visible as materialistic, like, the Koch brothers. You could look at, Donald Trump. You could look at Cenk Uygur. I mean, he has, pockets because he runs a network. You could look at, on both sides of a political divide, wherever you go, you're going to find, materialists. Okay. And what I would stress is, if you're going to criticize materialism, you criticize it for its discordance, so its distance of accordance with that point in the familial, communal, national structure. You criticize it for not taking the accountability of being a materialist, of not taking the responsibilities that are implicit in, the potential, in the moral potential of a materialist. Someone who is a materialist, they're, the communal obligation is that they help structure, their world. And that would be, in at the micro level, that would be, they help structure their relationship with their significant other. Then we expand a bit. They help structure the family. We expand a bit. They help structure the community. We expand further. They help structure the nation. We expand further. They help structure the world. And you could expand it even further. If you can imagine that, that to that extent. But the point is that, the point of this video message is that materialism isn't the enemy. It is the unaccountability and the irresponsibility attached to certain people who are acting materialistic, you know, in other words, they are putting on the guise, but they're not really living up to that account, right? If you're a real materialist, you know, and not just somebody who is trying to game the system for status. If you're a real materialist, then you became a materialist for a reason. You know, you accumulated things because you saw a bad stormy day ahead. You know, you were Noah and you needed to build an ark, and you saw that, you know, you foresaw that there would be you know, tragedy somewhere down the road. And so you accumulated possessions, you accumulated wealth for that rainy day, for that stormy night, you know, to you know, ease, you know, the passage through that dark, you know, foreboding unknown. That's what a real materialist is, at heart, as soul, and spirit. You know, not these, you know, charlatans who just have a lot of, you know, shit, and they are still in the closet with their whole being, and they aren't defending themselves in a you know, rational, understandable way. You know, people who just hide away like misers of the past, and they guard their trinkets. Those people, they don't really embody the spirit, the soul, the heart of materialism. Materialism in its truest sense, so in its most receptive sense, so in the sense that people embrace materialism, you know, it is at that point in the structure, it is the father, you know, it is the good father, should we say. Anyway, I just wanted to make this video about materialism and why it's not so bad, and why people, if they do criticize materialism, come at it from the right place, which is, you know, it's not real materialism. You know, see it, you know, see that, you know, these people who most people call materialistic are not actually materialistic, but they're just, you know, they're people who are seeking status, they're seeking, you know, supremacy above other people, and, you know, they will game the system. They will game the system to get that station of supremacy. Anyway, have a good day. Peace, meow.